playoffs.
That's right. Third game in 5 days. GDG have had a hard schedule, but going up against BLG, that's not going to stop now. Game number 1, and the highlight on your screen, El Tigre Volley Bear. Game 1, JDG and BLG. We are in Beijing, in JDG's home arena here tonight once again. Like I said last time, they've had a lot of games in this arena, but JDG going for an early invade with the Volley Bear here, going to get spotted out.
Wow, this is a roaming Volley Bear. Now, the last time we saw it in competitive, it was actually Aftershock because you have so much crowd control, but this one is looking to leave lane. The cheese on top of cheese,
I
baby.
love this. Imagine walking into lane, Lil Mal's going to come in level 3 with boots and just run through the lane and just target the top catch.
Oh god, this is so fun. This is so Lumo style.
Yeah.
We do have to touch on how the level 2 cheese really does work for the Volley Bear.
Okay.
It's just a flash rolling thunder instantly into the Majestic Roar, so you have double crowd control on that one, and you see a lot of early level 2 ganks paired up with it. The guaranteed crowd control is so strong, and then the Terrify walks the target back, so it's very difficult to avoid.
And remember, the latest change to Volley Bear was that mid-air, the Majestic Roar now does percentage max health damage from memory as well. I believe it's 8% at the start, so there's that bonus damage that comes through with the quick trades from the Volley Bear supporters. He's just dancing on him nice and early. In lane, not going to be too much damage with the Sivir follow-up, but looking at the mid lane, that's a quick trade from Kuro, who has already found himself in an okay position against Yagao.
Yeah, very well done. Still holding on to his double pots as well. Now, the main path I want to check up on is the Karthus.
Okay.
A lot of times if you get Karthus in early full clear, it just hyper speeds him up so well. We've seen that he actually started his own blue buff with no leash and is still so healthy. That's the reason why Karthus is so good in competitive play.
Yeah.
It's just that he has such a surefire first clear. He doesn't take that much damage because of the AoE healing coming from Seal. It's 6 HP per second per target.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for him to actually be counter ganked, even though he's a, I wanted to say sorcerer, even though he's a mage jungler.
Yeah.
there aren't a lot of people that can actually take him down on his first clear because he's so healthy.
That's right. If you run to a Karthus, he's always going to outtrade you. Of course, with the Defile range that you have to walk into. Getting a closer look at the Volley Bear, but I want to look top because Floors hit a very early level 4 here. In position for ADD, but again, the Gnar, very hard to gank with hop up and available.
Yep, Gnar really doesn't have that much damage or range to put damage on the opponent earlier on, so I don't expect BLG to find much action here. It's really about, can JDG push the tempo? Can JDG get something out of this, or are they just going to farm it up with them?
Seems like a farm game for the time being. Lil Mal was roaming up the river. JDG have gone out of vision, and Jinjiao and XinMo are running into it, but Lil Mal is going to spot Meteor here on the Scuttle Crab, who is looking for his double Scuttle in light of the Karthus not being nearby, but now he's here.
An 80 carry flank.
Oh, that's rolling thunder into the Triumphant Roar. Ignite's actually down. JDG started to take the fight. Kuro and Yagao going at it in the backlines while BLG trying to kite back. Kuro has to go over the wall, and Meteor burns a flash in the engage, so a summoner advantage for JDG.
Yep, and I think the main difference in that trade was just how much more flexible Corki is out of lane compared to the Azir. Azir leaving lane just feels bad because you have to reset all of your Sand Soldiers, so you could see that he was actually losing a lot of his HP coming into the river. But that was a really ballsy setup by JD Gaming. I don't think I've ever seen a Sivir try to be the one pinching and hiding in the enemy jungle.
When you have a Volley Bear, Clement, anything's possible. So I like the creativeness, I should say, from JDG to start that off, and I want to see more of that coming into the rest of the early game and the mid game. ADD just going to get a quick trade-off up here, and surprised that the top lane is so quiet, but that's what that ingenious support pick will do.
Yes, there's not much that's going to happen unless Zoom can actually stop one of the hops coming in from ADD.
Yep.
So it's difficult for both of these to really get a full trade onto each other, and it's just going to be a quiet laning phase. However, I feel like for BLG, they do need to consider maybe slowing down the Karthus. The Karthus has just been farming nonstop. He's doing the full clear route over and over again.
I mean, he's 10 CS up over Meteor, and granted, Meteor now at Krugs will be able to pick up some of that CS to get back in response, but Karthus towards the top side again. He's running out of jungle. He's clearing that fast, but now to his own Krugs, and Floors should be hitting level 6 very soon.
I love how Lumo's almost never in lane.
Yeah, it's a volley bear. What are you going to do?
He's already one level behind, but yeah. Okay.
But I mean, granted as well,
how
are you going to hit him? The Tahm Kench is still pretty beefy at this point. Jinjiao has the escape. You got to burn a flash to find that AD carry and separate him from his support.
It's a fun way to play this. So he didn't actually get the cheese off early. I think BLG was well aware of how this volley bear is played. I'm looking at the level 6.
Yep.
I think that's going to be an interesting one with the speed up and the Requiem coming from jungle. I think they have a great chance to just kill someone. You have to remember that there is an execute on the W as well.
Well, that's Predator proc though from Lumao. That's going to go down, and remember that has a pretty decent cooldown. So for Lumao, over the wall seems to be the play. For BLG, a lot of safety here, and Lumao only tier 1 boots, so he can't outmatch the Frog just yet.
Yep, and Karthus also showed for that one, so BLG are going to back off happily. And it does look like very much like an LCK game.
Oh, wow, yeah. Every time he just approaches him, I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? Again, I already said it was hard with Tahm Kench, but Clement, talk to me more as the Karthus is heading towards Dragon and as the teleport's burn for Yagao. Talk to me more about this mid-game, because it feels like when we get to late, it'll be that mid-game that decides everything.
Yeah, there's a couple big points we want to look for at the mid-game. The number one thing is like the level 6 burst that Karthus is going to have into his bottom lane. That one's going to be very deadly.
Oh, I told you! Requiem's coming down as well. He hits 6 so early and he dies! Just in time, Floors with first blood.
What? Did
thanks
he
to
pop
Lumao.
out? I guess you're...
And he had Ignite on him as well, Clement, so either way, something killed him.
I guess you can kill through Tahm Kench?
No, I think the Ignite killed him.
Should be untargetable.
Oh, well, hang on, Requiem was the thing that killed him. It must have been just as he got spat back out.
Oh, wow, that was such great timing.
I want a replay. And they get the Dragon off the back of it as well. So Ocean this early on for the volley bear, who's not going to be in combat that much, who can just position between lanes. Thank you kindly.
That's the number 1 snowball point I was waiting to happen. And the number 2 snowball point is Yagao getting his first package at 8 minutes. Now, it's been changed to 5, but that changes for ARAM. It fooled me for a long time. It's like, wait a minute, this isn't happening.
I was like, wow, 5 minutes? No, he got baited in.
Yeah, so he's going to get that one, and he can find those roams into the bottom side as well. Or maybe he can roam around with Lumal that still has his Predator. So I think JD Gaming, the mid-game does belong to them. They have a lot more playmaking potential when it comes to their champion picks.
So then for BLG, what, slowing the pace down even more so? Getting to late without giving too much over for JDG? Is that purely how they played this game out?
It's not a bad strategy against the current state of JD Gaming, I have to say.
Okay.
I think for a lot of teams, when they go up against opponents that they see are a little bit messier, they do tend to go for late game compositions and say, you know what, we'll just scale it out.
Yep.
We'll take the composition that can make more mistakes, and we'll just automatically win once it hits 35. And they're still pretty much okay. They haven't lost that much turret plating. If you look at the map, I believe only the bot side has been taken down just by a peg. So I think BLG are sitting happy here. Yep. They just need to avoid big team wipes that could happen in the mid game.
Yeah, JDG already ahead by 1,000 gold and some. So that could be the defining factor moving into the mid game. But also point out, remember the Silas can take away the Requiem as we get towards this level 6, level 7 now for Meteor. Looking forward to seeing the steal, because a lot of the time, the Silas, as we get to late game, will be able to steal that. Then something like, I'm looking across the board, still Volley Bear's ultimate with the AP scaling. There's actually a couple of ults he can steal with the Corki, Aatrox there as well for World Ender. So versatility for the jungler of BLG, and we're still just happily farming away, heading towards that mid game we talked about.
Ooh, sitting on a ward, however, this is not going to fare well for their chances. And BLG happy to waste their time.
Bull's just going to back away. Level 8 on the Karthus, keeping track of his experience, still holding that same lead, and Lumao's now roaming with him. Has the Predator back on boots, has boots of swiftness as well, and is level 6, so Thunderclaw's at the ready.
I love this from Lumao. This is Drumo's style. He is a quintessential roamer. He loves to play the fiddle and have surprise parties all over the place.
Yeah, well, that's a package across from Yagao. Kuro just walks back and says, okay.
Actually takes no damage.
Yeah. In fact, more damage was done by Kuro as he just walked past. So still holding even in this lane, actually. Kuro with a small advantage in CS, but has been stuck in lane for a while now.
And the gods do favor BLG. They're giving over a Cloud Drake and an Ocean Drake.
Yep.
So BLG are like, you know what? Nothing really to contest here. We can stay safe.
Spell shield by him. He picks up some turret plating himself. And coming out of these lanes with a bit of an advantage now for JDG. Like we keep on talking about, that mid game just seems almost accelerated, considering you're going to have a Sivir with Essence Reaver very early on, and that Corki with Trinity Force, that'll be coming soon too. So these skirmishes for BLG are going to have to be one outplay and a half.
Yeah, but I do think JD Gaming is going to have to look for them inside the jungle of BLG. BLG right now, they're very happy to get pushed in. They have Azir and Ezreal scaling, so I don't think they're looking to contest much on the map. If JD Gaming really want to fight, they will have to go look for it.
That's why this Rift Herald is going to be so crucial, because that'll be able to push out the lanes, extend their vision into the enemy jungle, and BLG don't want to give this over single-handedly, but it's just ADD here who hops away, zoned out, and Rift Herald now going to be uncontested and given over to Zoom. Or Flawless. Yeah, let's give it a Flawless. There we go.
Once again, Lumo is taking every opportunity he has to roam across the map. Whenever the wave is pushed out, he just uses it to leave his lane. Yep. We've seen this multiple times already. He's even on level, so the decision-making is really good here. He's picking up all of the XP necessary to keep a foot of XinMo.
Because you can see that XinMo has made the roam as well. He's sitting inside the jungle with Meteor just previously. And he has to match the volley bear. So they might not be able to secure vision everywhere, but right now just keeping eyes on the volley. Scuttle will be secured here right in front of him too. So making the roam still. And BLG just looking to see where Flawless is tracking at the moment.
I do want to see JD Gaming be a little bit more proactive on the bottom side instead of just roaming towards the other lanes. I would like to see them do jungle invades after they get this bottom pushed. Like, they still have the opportunity for it, but once Ezreal gets Iceborne Gauntlet, that will become a lot harder.
It's always made difficult by BLG. One of our best warding teams here in the LPL as well. Their vision tracking in spring was incredible. In summer, it's still the same. Still some of the best control wards down. Vision cleared rating, I think, is one of the top 2 as well.
Yep, only to be outdone by LNG and SOFM.
Late game teams is Zoom now going to pop into the world ender. Here comes a Requiem, but ADD is going to go into Mega Knight. He's going to have the ult available and heals up just because of the ulti. Now for Zoom, he has to 1v2, but they're waiting for it. ADD flashes in, jumps on top, but doesn't even need the flash. Zoom's going to die anyway, and that was perfectly timed from BLG's top 2.
That was a lot of smart moves from Zoom, but at the end, he could not survive. He actually backed away from the fight, making sure that Nar couldn't get the extra rage to transform, but ADD still gets it through, and it's an easy 2-for-1 on the top side. I don't think they're going to be able to trade the turret down, though. No,
this has gone down too quickly. Rift Herald has just given so much gold over to Imp and now Luomao. So first turret blood seems to be going to JDG. Our observer doesn't want to look top. He's like, we know. And 330 apiece. Imp accelerated, and BLG's top lane, they can't even push the turret. They just get a couple of turret plates, and the trade still favorable for JDG in the end.
Yep, so JDG now, they have the opportunity to take Imp and place him into the other lane. I like the idea for topside. Azir with Ludens, lots of wave clear in that lane. Don't really want to go there just yet. So I think they will be looking to put a little bit more pressure top and then transition Zoom towards the long lane bottom.
And that makes it even more dangerous for him. Remember what we were talking about, how the vision to get it deeper into the enemy jungle, JDG would be able to get more of these picks from BLG in their own territory and make some of these plays a little bit easier coming into now the mid game, which is what we've constantly talked about time and time again. We're here and JDG make the lane swap, they start the pushing, and now the proactivity is in their favor.
Yeah, Nar's a champion that has a lot of problems wave clearing earlier on. Your only tool is really the W, and it takes a lot of CDR to keep that going. So I like this transition here. They are very far ahead of the tempo, and they have the 3-man here to deny experience as well. So well done by JD Gaming. It's not only just the gold lead, it's also the EXP lead that's being extracted.
Really big one on Flawless as well. The level advantages kind of caught up from Meteor, but still has the CS, still has, as we're talking about, the proactivity. And that top turret going down will eventually be traded by BLG here, but JDG still pushing in, still have the lane set up here for top, and ADD is going to be in a bit of trouble as Predator comes in, Lum out underneath turret, pops the Thunderclaws, dodges away from the ulti. Stunned on the turret though, ADD looking for the 1v2 and onto Imp. I think he might find it with everyone else coming in. Thank you, Jinjiao, and ADD might have missed the ult, but he still looked good otherwise.
And that was a classic JDG play, going super aggressive on the bottom side tower.
Oh,
We've actually seen this in their previous set as well.
Where's your escape? Flawless, the ult stolen, flash away from Meteor. He dodges, but you know what? There's a Requiem there. Look at Meteor. He's going to back off or give it to Kuro. Pick one. Doesn't matter in the end. Kuro will get the kill.
I don't think he's in kill range.
He's not.
Nope.
So Requiem wasn't available either from Flawless, or rather, he probably just died and couldn't use it. So 1-for-1 now on the jungler, and BLG pick up so much in that play.
So he actually did have the cooldown, but it looks like he didn't finish the channel. Very important that you only have 7 seconds on that passive to complete. And also the HP wasn't low enough for Kuro. So
right.
It actually looked like a miscalculation from Flawless. He thought that maybe with the red buff he would be able to tick the Azir down. But he still saves his Requiem.
Oh, hello. That's another Requiem and a true shot barrage. So you got the double global ult on BLG. And that stops JDG from pressuring that mid-tier turret. Remember, we're in the time zone where they want to pressure it out. And this is one of the pressure plays that didn't go to their favor.
Yeah, this one was bad because ADD was already full rage bar. He had a very easy time using his ultimate, getting extra HP and resistances from going into the Mega Gnar, and Flawless was cut off. He couldn't actually join this one. Cooldown bar is a little bit glitchy. I believe that he had his cooldown there, as we're seeing after this play. Now, just looking at Flawless, what he actually tried to do here, he wanted to walk back for the extra damage and to get his ult. Like, there's no reason to walk back unless you were looking for a Requiem kill.
Fair enough. Either way, I think for the side of Flawless, that death is going to mean so much going over as ADD looking for the 1v1. That's a World Ender and Requiem. You're going to get the reset if you can kill the No. He's about to die, gets pierced by Yagao. And JDG, great teleport from the mid lane.
Good find on the snipe kill.
Wow, this volley is hungry. He wants some Silas meat. He can't get the raw though, and Meteor steals his ulti. So let's see that interaction come through. He's over the wall. Now going to have to pop it, but he's almost dead before he's begun. He's looking for the Kingslayer, but he gets devoured up by XinMo, and now running for their lives, BLG. Ulti is popped, the Thunderclaws, but he's dead anyway. BLG's jungler getting caught out, and now it's getting bloody here in this mid-game.
And they're trying to fight JD Gaming with their power strikes and with their mobility on the bottom side of the map. Now, JD Gaming, they do need to trade objectives, however. Kuro has just went on an objective tearing spree. He's got the top one already. He'll get this one as well.
He's going to get this. Yagao not going to get there in time, and Kuro picks up the solo turret gold. Yagao looking for the chase, but he's already gone. And BLG matching the tempo, matching the gold lead, and keeping it in check, because this one play from JDG was a moment, you could say, that JDG found another good pick.
Yeah, going over the minion wave was a big no-no for ADD. Yagao finds his first kill here. Remember, he's already on his Triforce power spike, and all of those 2 kills came right after this Triforce. So BLG really underestimating the power of Corki. They shouldn't try to fight too hard when Azir isn't there.
Yep.
They still have a composition that suits them much better, taking it slow and steady.
Corki almost towards the second item. Infinity Edge, no doubt, coming very shortly. As that'll be another window for JDG to play through. Looking across the board. ADD almost towards his second as well. Iceborne, Manamune picked up here for Jinjiao. And BLG are going to start this Dragon. So ADD been playing this alongside of the map for a while now. And he's going to help this one out. See what we come up with next. What is it?
I think it's another cloud.
Ocean.
Ocean, oh, okay.
Okay. Exciting stuff. Imp just getting free mana. And now JDG playing towards the top side where Baron will be in 20 seconds.
I'm not sure I would characterize that as exciting. However, we do have to remember that Karthus is a very fast Baron taking jungle.
Yeah. And
it's a full damage team coming from JD Gaming. Lumal actually does have the % health damage coming in from his W as well. So this is a team that BLG needs to be aware of and start contesting Barons as soon as possible. JD Gaming are known for these 2-minute-long, 3-minute-long Baron dances where they just keep on going at it until the enemy finally caves. and gives them the team fight that they want.
Because remember, going into the enemy jungle has been really the stay at home for JDG this whole game. And there's no really big exception here. River controlled by JDG towards that top side. The BLG just trying to drop some wards down. Now there's one on the Baron, so they don't have to get anywhere near it. It'll be about how long BLG can keep this game state where they know Baron's not being done, where they can stay in these longer lanes, farm it up, and get towards that late game point where execution seems to be easier.
And I love how the Karthus pick is just warping all the itemization on BLG. You can see the early redemption coming in just to equalize the ion cannon that's going to be coming from Flawless, and early Merc Treads as well. They really want to stay alive.
Who's this, Clever? Redemption for the time catch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of early redemption these days as well. Meteor going to steal the World Ender here onto Zoom. Gets the Abscond Abduct and now into the World Ender. Used again. Meteor's going to pop his own one as we got two Aatroxes on the field. And that's Predator proc there from Lumao. You can see the icon ADD was about to go Mega, so disengage from JDG as now they have a bit of mid priority and BLG have to respond. Wow, okay. Kuro. That's a big ult to use early on. That's just the bear. Lumao looked at him and Kuro ulted.
That's how scary the bear actually is.
Damn straight.
You haven't looked a bear in the eye. Don't blame Kuro for that.
I just realized, would you call Gnar? What is Gnar? A bear?
Gnar's a Yordle.
No. But what animal? Yordles are not real, Clement.
He's Yordle's shapeshifter in wild.
No, Clement. what are Yordles? We're talking real life. Get your head out of the other game.
It's not the other game. It's a different game mode.
Yeah, other game. It's not a... It's all right, anyway. Gnar is a bear. Yes? Do you think? What is his closest animal relation?
I don't think bears have tails that long, though.
What is
more
he?
Like a weasel.
A dog? Is he a dog? Ladies and gentlemen, tweet at Clement Chu. What animal is Gnar?
I'd go with weasel or maybe possum. Something
Weasel.
like that.
It's not a possum.
It needs a tail.
That is a possum on some kind of, performance enhancers.
Oh, okay.
Right? I think he's either a bear or a dog. Yeah.
You know, bears are actually closer to dogs than they are to cats.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or actually, maybe he's a dinosaur. I mean, that's because of the skin, but I feel like he could be a dinosaur. Either way, it's bear versus bear. And my point that I was getting to about 5 minutes ago was the fact that these engages are going to be critical.
Hey, I'm just happy to go around with the ride.
Yeah, take you somewhere. Lumao has flash available, ADD as well. The difference, of course, being the single target versus ADD with a big Gnar wallop against the wall. That could just be the team fight done and dusted by BLG, so look for that around the Baron buff, which is sitting there. JDG haven't committed to it just yet because BLG have held really good vision around this buff that JDG aren't really contesting at the moment.
So looking at ADD's build, he is actually going very heavily into the team fight type of build.
Yeah. Wow. Remember, support Volibear.
That's the problem with the pick. It doesn't have the tankiness in the support position to really survive later on.
Package use though. Jinjiao should be able to get out of XinMo forced to flash. The Guardian comes in handy. He'll heal that up, but Big Summoner's queued out as ADD looking for the ult against the wall. He finds the wall. In the wall, the flash away from Zoom, but now Meteor's here as well. Scott Duck doesn't connect into the World Ender. Zoom wants the reset. He wants the Requiem to help him out, and it will, but ADD needs to go away from this fight. Teleport going to come in from BLG as well, and Meteor wants to re-engage. He has the Corki ult. He's shooting to win. But BLG just in case, as the True Shot Barrage to swing through JDG.
3 teleports used in that fight, and both of these teams are so focused on getting their side lanes ahead. We could see that Yagao plus Imp just coming in the nick of time, and great dodge by Zoom. He flashed away from the Mega Gnar.
From like everything,
yeah,
hey.
Got away from the Abduct as well.
Some fancy feed onto Zoom means that the play around this dragon is available for JDG.
I don't think BLG should contest this. A lot of low HP bars here. They don't have the first Ocean Drake to really heal up on this one, and this is a very bad position for Karthus to cut them off.
And they're going to deal with Lumao, who procs the Predator once again. And Imp now joins the fight. Infinity Edge Civ are going to be hitting away and ricocheting off the dragon.
Very close fight. Can they get Karthus
in? ADD only ult onto Lumao. Bear versus bear, and the bigger bear wins. But Lumao taken down by the mysterious boy as Kuro runs forward as well. And on the hunt now going to be propped just to get out of there. Kuro wants to join the fight and continue it on, but JDG with a bit of mid-priority want to get this on their way out.
Yeah, that was a very slow tempo way to play it.
A Requiem onto Flawless! Oh,
he's alive.
Not enough damage just yet. It's two-shot barrage, though. BLG, oh, Kuro flashes forward. JDG are getting absolutely outgunned as BLG chase them up. And now with the health bars this low around the Baron buff, BLG can do what they want.
The great escape being played by JD Gaming. I don't like this.
Oh,
I don't
they
think
go.
this is a great idea.
And look, JDG didn't back away. Remember, Clement, you pointed
They
out
have full
before,
vision.
they have Ocean as well, so they've healed back up. Teleport's going to come in. Meteor is low.
This is terrible. Imp's going to have a field day if they continue on this Baron. I don't like this idea when the scuttle's already been taken by JD Gaming and they wrestle back the map control with the tempo lead.
And because they went to Baron, because they lost so much health, JDG can walk to this mid lane with this massive wave and start hitting away. They've wanted this for so darn long, and the only reason they can't stay is because Kuro is alive. Gets the wave clear down, denies JDG, and on a feather, this game feels like it's falling.
And I think that JD Gaming could have played that Drake fight a little bit more boldly. What I wanted to see them do is have Imp who's on the hunt.
That's a new one.
And send the Karthus in, cut off the composition from BLG, and they could have secured that that second Ocean break. I feel like they didn't fully commit to that, and then they got chased off. Now, the end result happened because BLG then turned around for the Baron, which I think was the wrong call. But JD Gaming, I feel like could have played that a little harder. Like, they could have went in with a little bit more aggression.
Looks like they were waiting for Lumao to get the engage. So once he found it, then JDG wanted to follow up. You could see how Imp and Yagao, 2-3 items. Yeah, you're right. They could be more confident with the builds that they have. And this is giving more time for Jinjiao to keep up with the Sivir. More time for the Azir, who almost has the Nash's Tooth to catch up to that Corki, who's almost towards a third item himself. So for JDG, this mid game seems to be more passive than we were talking about it should be just before.
Yeah, both teams have their scaling options. I would say BLG relying a little bit more on the late game for their power to really kick in.
I mean, team fighting Nara, as you talked about before, now with the Randuin's Omen, as Yagao over the wall hits Meteor hard. He has no armor just yet in Meteor. Or should I say MR? He has none of the above. So both are going to hurt from Yagao.
Meteor is the prime target to focus down, and I like the fact that he's already got the perfect timing just to survive this.
Yep.
Now, I want to see Lumao in action. The reason we've said Volibear is a cheese pick is he actually doesn't pack any extra resistances. He typically gets that from playing the solo lane or the jungle, but not the support. So I really want to see a successful flash engage.
Well, he needs to make it now. Rolling Thunder used, but Flash still available, as you mentioned. Not used in that last engage. Meteor moving down the bottom side. Has not been spotted out. As if they knew he was down here, Baron would be started by JDG. Heading towards that now, but still in vision with that control ward.
Kuro's really starting to hurt at this point. Almost has his third item complete. And JD Gaming have been pressuring this mid lane a lot, but not landing the poke necessary. Blade of the Ruined King already done on Jinjiao, so he's sustaining up fine.
Yeah.
And I want to see JD Gaming try and take this deeper into the jungle. They still have that flash on Lumao. The flash engage is something we haven't seen the entire game.
A big part of why JDG feel like they can't get into the enemy jungle is because that mid turret is still standing.
Yeah,
so well defended by BLG. As you mentioned, the wave clear is doing it. And Jinjiao, who has ult up every 2 seconds, now might be able to finally hit it down because Kuro not in position, but Meteor flashing away. It was a bait all along, a ruse as ADD goes into Meganar. Meteor golden, healed up with the redemption, but Boomerang Blade takes him a heavy chunk. JDG still able to get the turret for what it's worth, and trying to find Meteor on the back end. Gets close, gets a domination.
That was pretty funny. That was just for the
Dark Harvest?
Yeah, Dark Harvest.
That's the one.
Yeah. So a lot of times you will see Karthus actually do this. When they play the early game in solo queue, they just do a ton of drive-by ganks. Oh, you're below 50 HP? Let me touch you with the Defile. Thanks for the stack. And then they leave your lane.
Yeah, just the auto. That's when you see the auto come through and you're like, what was that for? Ah, a bit of extra damage. How many Dark Harvest stacks does he have?
I'm really curious because there hasn't been a lot of action this game.
This is the problem. I wish I could ask observers, but they're not obviously not on our side. We'll find out a little bit later. BLG still hovering around this fight in the mid lane, but now becomes even more dangerous considering JDG have been able to clear out some of the vision, get deeper. XinMo might be caught out here as a package used on him. He flashes away, but he's pulled back in with the Infernal Chains. Wrong time here for XinMo, but Zoom empowered up with the World Ender. The support down for 35 seconds. Infernal Dragon, all JDG.
Not enough range on that. Didn't get away from the Infernal Chains, and he gets tugged back into the realm of death.
Yeah.
Coming in from JD Gaming.
Okay, yeah. That's what it should have felt like for the W for Carthus, right? You know, screw Mordekaiser ult. Defile should have been Realm of Death. Oh, I can see it now.
He's so edgy, that Mordekaiser. He has so many deaths in his champion ability names.
Yeah.
Like Death Grasp, Realm of Death.
I mean, that's the only Death Grasp left in the game, right? We're left with a sad reminder of how great that item was on LeBlanc. Do you remember Deathfire Grasp LeBlanc and how bogus that was?
Do you remember the stat that apparently 99% of the players never press the act?
Yeah, and you're like, why not? It's OP. And speaking of OP,
oh, he flashed towards the longer side of it. That was a pixels
he was scared. When you have a big dog on a flying ship flying at you, that's going to happen. So, the XinMo, you're right. He went to the longest part, paid for it with his life, and BLG losing their support. They lost control of the map. They lost control towards the Baron once again. But JDG this time not pulling the trigger. They're extending it out, and we're getting towards the late game where it's that one fight again that we look towards.
BLG have a great poking composition, and I think that's why JD Gaming is not doing their same old tricks where they just start the Baron regardless multiple times throughout the game in search of a team fight. They understand that if they do, BLG have the perfect tools to punish them.
But if they find the pick, Clement, and who am I talking about to get the pick? Lumal with the Righteous Glory, then it could open things
Seems
up.
Seems like
they just left
communication.
Yeah, Zoom gets a free turret. Now, this is a wave pushing up against the inhibitor turret. Zoom, or rather ADD, has to match this.
I love how you can see the pings going down on BLG as well. Double question marks.
Like, okay, is anyone there? Baron not started just yet, but this is blind for BLG. They're waiting, and they've got to check.
They should still be fine. One trinket unused on Kuro, so they can deny one more face check from JD Gaming.
Also, seeing Imp in the mid lane makes it easier to establish that Baron hasn't started just yet.
Now they need to be very careful. ADD, even if he teleports, is going to take a while to get there. And we're seeing the flank wards being selected here. So if ADD has good rage bar, but he's already transformed, so they're going to have to wait for the next wave.
Yep.
The best situation for Gnar to TP in on is about like 95 rage, where you're like 2 or 3 auto attacks away from transforming, and then you can get your jump into your Mega Gnar at the same time. Sorry, your ultimate at the same time.
Yep.
So if you transform mid-hop, then you can actually save on the animation of ult. It makes it very difficult to avoid.
Plus, remember, if you do the hop, the hop mid-transform, you get the hop and you get the crunch as well. So there's a bonus to timing it right here for ADD, who now has his 3rd item in the... I can't even remember this. This is bad. Clement.
Adaptive Helm.
Adaptive Helm.
There you go.
You can tell how much I'm playing tanks at the moment. My lord. And also because
ADD is.
Yeah, just ADD. It's been so long. But of course the Adaptive Helm, excuse me. So 3rd item. And that's going to hurt for someone like Yagao, who's constantly going to be showing a lot of magic damage towards him.
It's great versus Carthus and Corki, so I really like the pickup here. Usually you see a lot of Gnars go for the Frozen Mallet in the hopes of becoming a split pusher.
Look at what Kuro just did to Flawless though, Clement. And look at what Imp has just taken from Jinjiao. 2-shot barrage! Just in time, but not anywhere near. Goes Golden, does Meteor just to negate it, and Jinjiao survives the Requiem.
It's insane find by Jinjiao, and look at his itemization. He's going for the Dust Blade, so it probably didn't expect it to hurt that much.
Oh, and Zoom might be caught out. ADD is going to go into Mega Gnar soon, but into the World Ender, he's still caught. Goes Golden. Yagao trying to get him the reset, but Meteor already out as ADD jumps and Zoom flashes away on a knife's edge. Feels like this next fight.
Yeah, that one was really close. If JD Gaming got the kill and World Ender gave them a revive, they would wipe that team fight. So good flash away on the bottom side by Meteor just to keep himself alive. And you can see the damage output by Yagao right there. Just one person in the corridor against 3 members of BLG. They were able to hold that one off.
Feels like they've hit their mark. Teleport's now up and available. Kuro, ADD, and Jinjiao all have it if they need to back away. But mainly Zoom, who was forced out in that last fight without an ulti and now without a flash. As JDG sit up around the Baron buff. Enough vision there that BLG don't need to be scared. In fact, they can poke away with Kuro, and that's vision enough.
Still want to see On the Hunt chase down with the Wall of Pain. I think that's probably the easiest engage they can find. Never mind.
Onto ADD. XinMo again, once again pulled in, goes into the back line as that's a big true shot barrage onto Yagao. ADD into Meganar, and again, JDG have to pull away.
Yeah, I love the positioning from BLG there. They had the almost full rage bar ADD holding down the choke, playing the Hodor game, and JD Gaming have to back off even though they get the flip.
The difference is it's a good story after holding the door, Clement. And, for JDG pulling away, they leave the mid lane turret that goes down, and BLG are hitting these windows really hard at the moment. They're going to look for the Elder Dragon while actually the Baron started by JDG.
This is not a favorable trade for BLG.
And the Baron is definitely secured by JDG, so you're right. The team that has so much wave clear to boot and a lot of sieging pressure now pick up the Baron, and BLG, they want to look for a fight with this one.
This is a questionable decision for me. BLG are the team that doesn't have the engage potential on JD Gaming. So even if they have the teamfight edge with the Elder Dragon, I think it's very difficult to transform that into any sizable advantage.
Okay. Well, I'll say, Clement, they just need a pick.
Like, if JD Gaming just don't fight you here, they're fine.
Yeah. Baron lasts longer as well.
I love what Azum is doing here. He's just saying, you know, you're looking for a pick. You're looking to siege up on our doorsteps. We're just going to go and split push.
For a team that's known as hitting to the late game and being so calm and controlled, for BLG, making a decision like that, let's see if it turns into a rash one. Just trying to defend the mid lane. They come off the aggression, move mid, play on the defensive side, and for JDG, things looking okay in a game where you think BLG start turning the favor.
Yeah, that was a questionable trade for me. JD Gaming are actually able to set up a siege now. They have that 70% AoE resistance on their Baron buff minions now, and they always had the wave clear edge. So I don't see how BLG actually gets use of this Elder Dragon.
Yeah, a minute to find out, Clement. And you're exactly right, you know, food for thought here after it expires and what BLG will have to do next. Because they're going to deal with the Baron buff for an extra minute on top of it. And at least now for BLG, they are set up for the Elder Dragon double buff if they can get the second one. But that is a while away. That's 4 minutes away. And BLG, they're not being given the picks by JDG. They're playing super safe in the lanes, playing very reserved away from the comp.
Yeah, I like what JD Gaming's doing here. Just wait it out. Typical response to this situation. And BLG just don't have the engage. If you're a team with very strong engage, that a lot of times I can understand the idea to trade for the Baron buff versus the Elder Dragon. But this one just doesn't seem like it. Maybe they're setting up for the second Elder Dragon.
Yeah.
They're waiting for the long con. But in the short term, it does look a bit weird.
15 seconds. BLG is about to expire, and Jinjiao just trying to keep the wave at bay while JDG now set up 10, 9, 8. Meteor looking for the last fight before it expires, but no, that's a bear. You don't want to be anywhere near it, and Elder now expiring, but BLG go for the fight here. That'll be very interesting considering the Baron minions are still channeling in. And the bottom side, look, inhibitor under fire.
Someone needs to deal with that. And that fight was JD Gaming actually baiting BLG out. If you could see Zoom, he was waiting on that home guards.
And so it continues. Clement, 40 seconds, just under now for the Baron buff until that expires. My biggest timer is in that top left, and whether BLG can actually just play this late game fight better as Yagao pops onto Jinjiao, and that's what he's going to do as Volibear jumps on in. Lumao finds the engage. Remember, Baron minions are helping this push, and Meteor going golden, force the flash. XinMo eats him, devours him for the Requiem. It's coming down again. Meteor only just survives, but it does the damage onto the time catch. And for JDG, they've hit that late game. They've hit the fight with the Baron. BLG are sent packing into their own base. The bear rolls its thunderous claws towards BLG, and 2 members dead. Long death timers. JDG looking for the win in game 1.
One small mistake from Meteor, and JD Gaming find the opening. We finally see the flash rolling thunder engage from Lumao. Can they end here?
ADD needs the Mega Gnar here. Kuro and Jinjiao are the wave clear, are the poking bits of damage. Kuro at half health, just trying to get the minion wave away. And for JDG, I don't think they can end here, Clement. Zoom needs to find something, and it's on to Kuro for now, who gets pulled back in by the Infernal Chains. Jinjiao still safe, and no minion wave there. Baron expired. JDG can't end just yet.
Very controlled by ADD. He actually goes into the face of JD Gaming and gives that space for Jinjiao to clear the wave out. It looked very dangerous, but he pulled it off nicely. And going over that trade, this is just the reason why I never really feel like Baron is worth trading for Elder.
Yep.
If you look at the situation, because they have the wave clear advantage, someone has to go into the bot side, and this just opens a full-on engage from JD Gaming. They get the turret, they get the kill, they get the inhibitor, and even with XinMo, with that amount of shielding, can't survive that. That's at least a proc for the Dark Harvest.
Further to your point, with that much of a wave coming in with Baron buff, Jinjiao can't free fire. He doesn't have access to anyone in the side of JDG because there's so many damn unkillable minions in the way. So a pain for Jinjiao, and the fact is he wasn't utilized well in that fight because he just couldn't. We'll see now because Baron, Elder, they have the exact same time on the board, Clement. Which one will BLG go for this time? I think we know our answer.
Yeah, BLG, they definitely need to start looking for that Baron one. And what they could do is that this time around, because it is second Elder Dragon, then trading actually makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
So defend if you can, but if you can't, just rush for the second one.
Jinjiao has a Bloodthirster now, Clement. So near unkillable Ezreal acquired.
That's a close quarter combat build.
Yeah.
He knows that he can't run away from Lu Mao.
I mean,
especially with that Righteous Glory.
Lu Mao has supporting items, so he could die before he even gets near the Ezreal at this point. They're still trying to find JDG in their own jungle down this bottom side, but meanwhile the engage going onto the mid lane. Kuro used the Emperor's Divide onto Yagao. So he's lent packing with his package now out. And XinMo caught out in the mid lane as well, so let's see. ADD out of Mega Gnar. This is the engaged JDG1 with no Mega available. Requiem used aggressively by the Silas. Gets everyone low for JDG. Yagao teleports in, but this is a real Requiem. Kuro healed up, eaten up, and saved by the redemption itself. And ADD, no Mega Gnar, but they certainly want to find it now.
Yeah, that was a fight where JD Gaming actually thought that they could stay in it. They didn't see the rest of the members from BLG, and now they're in a worse position facing this second Elder Dragon.
Oh, and they're being cut off by BLG. ADD in a good position now, poking down on him, still looking for Mega, the Rage Bar, filling up here, and BLG suddenly forced JDG off the Elder, and it's begun.
Ooh, this one's going to come down right to the wire. Flawless really needs to die in a good position.
Reset by the Elder Dragon, though. Look at where Lu Mao is. The flanking position denied by XinMo, while BLG still fronting first into the Dragon. The flash from ADD, the Mega Gnar against the wall. They find Yagao. Big pickup. Now Flawless running into die in a good position, but he might just die as well. As for Lu Mao on the back end, he wants the pick, but Kuro survives. Well, Imp is looking to end the game. Jinjiao comes down to save it, and Imp a valiant attempt, but the TP meta hits him right back in the face, while BLG find the rest of the fight. And JDG, that was their last-ditch effort.
Great flash coming in from ADD just to get that Yagao pick, and they're going to take the second Elder Dragon. The TP comes in for Kuro. They're going to secure this for sure. No jungler from Flawless.
That means they can run straight to Baron after this 30 seconds, and I know a lot of people out there will be criticizing Gimp, but that was too darn close. That could have just been the way JDG took game one. However, BLG, with those death timers I mentioned, straight over to the Baron to look for the double buff.
And there is no smite, no flash from Lu Mao to get over the wall. They have to give this one up. Oh, that bot lane fight was such a bad idea from JD Gaming. They actually engaged on something that was a 4v5. Yagao wasn't in position. He had to spend his teleport, and that led straight into the second Elder.
I mean, Imp wasn't a part of it. We'll have a look here. He started off, but then TP'd away.
Yeah, look at Yagao here. This is this fight was lost after Yagao was going down, so I actually like what Imp was doing here, but the rest of the team couldn't keep the members from going back as well. That was a teleport used by ADD, so he couldn't stop that unless there was crowd control coming down.
Look at the volley bear. What a pain in the ass. Lu Mao is just all over them, but it's going to require a miracle now from JDG. Double Elder buff for 4 minutes. Remember, it gets extended when you get the double. BLG also have the Baron buff available. And at 45 minutes, one of our longest games, they're looking to siege on the inhibitor and find this last fight.
Yeah, and there's nothing really stopping them at this point. If ADD can flip Karthus away, they have a lot of space for Jinjiao to then just move in and take out the team fight.
The miracle ult is going to be required here. Flawless to get them low, and then who's it going to be? Well, Lu Mao to find a pick potentially as ADD with the Infernal Chains gets dragged back in, but Zoom takes that much more damage. And Sun Turret set up. There is no out here for JDG. It's a full 5-on-5 in the mid lane. As Loom out, there's the Thunder popped early, and Chosen of the Storm, see you later. That inhibitor's ours.
This is a Chosen for BLG, actually. It's
Yeah.
just taking so much poke. Volibear is not an easy champion to play outside of the laning phase, and they're paying for a lack of engage.
Well, for JDG, they're getting poked out before they can begin. The turrets are going down, and the last Requiem of the game, it seems to Zoom, trying to find that last ditch effort. The Emperor's Divide just kills the Volibear. The Chosen is BLG, and Flawless getting poked out as well. Everything goes right in this final fight as JDG poked down, the Nexus hit, and BLG hit that late game win condition hard.
This is just an outsmart win from BLG. They understood that the timer was coming up. They do a 5v4 engage onto JD Gaming, and JD Gaming take it for some reason. They're like, yes, let's go. Pops World Ender goes into the